everyone, today's video is going to be a Tesco haul and taste test of some of the new in vegan products they've released recently. Normally with this type of video I film separate hauls and separate taste tests just because there's too much to cover in one video. However, unfortunately, I had a lot of substitutions on my Tesco delivery and I'm only left with 4 things to try today, so not quite the taste test that I expected. There were a few things that I was so excited about trying. I know that one of you guys commented about trying some of the new Wicked Kitchen range, and they'd released blueberry muffins and cinnamon rolls, which I was just dying to try. I'm a huge fan of cinnamon rolls and I don't feel like I've had a blueberry muffin in years. I'm definitely more of like a blueberry muffin person over a chocolate muffin person, so I was really gutted when they ran out of stock. I also ordered some pork pies which didn't arrive, the Plant Chef vegan pork pies, which I'm just so intrigued about, like how can I make a vegan pork pie. And I also picked up some of the Heinz vegan mayonnaise and that got substituted, so not a very successful shop, but I did get a few things that I'm very excited to try in today's video. I'm going to start by trying a sandwich that I picked up. I'm currently filming this on my lunch break and I'm so hungry, so I'm very ready to try the sandwich. I picked up the Plant Chef no egg and cress. This was £2.50, although I did get it in the meal deal, so it was £3 for everything. It felt so weird ordering a meal deal for a delivery. I don't know if that's just me, but meal deals seem like such an on-the-go thing. To get one delivered, it felt very backwards, but that's what I did because obviously it works out a way better deal that way. So I have got a smoothie waiting for me in the fridge after I finish this. But this is an egg sandwich, which to be honest kind of disgusts me but intrigues me at the same time. I feel like the intrigue is higher than the disgust, hence why I picked it up. I'm not actually sure what the vegan egg is made out of. It is tofu with a faba bean alternative to mayonnaise and cress in malted bread. I don't know what it is about these faba beans. I had never heard of them and all of a sudden they're literally in every single vegan product. So I have made my own homemade vegan egg mayo before with tofu and a little bit of the black salt, which gives it that eggy flavour. So I have something to compare it to. I mean, it does look pretty realistic. It looks like an egg and cress sandwich. This wouldn't have been the kind of thing I would have picked up before I was vegan. I didn't mind egg sandwiches. I would have them sometimes at home, mainly because we had like this egg mashing tool that was pretty fun to use. But I would never pick one when I was out and about. I feel like people who buy egg sandwiches and tuna sandwiches when they're out and about and they're going to be in an enclosed space with other people are just wrong. So if you do that, don't do that. Honestly, the smell is unbearable. So we'll see if this has an eggy smell. I kind of won't mind if it doesn't, but I am definitely a little bit nervous to try this. Okay, smell wise I can only smell bread. So far it doesn't smell too eggy. When I've used black salt in the past, it's been pretty intense. It's not the nicest of smells. I don't actually know if this has any black salt in it. Yeah, so it's got vinegar, black salt, and then flour, etc. So potentially could taste rather eggy. That definitely tastes very similar to the vegan egg sandwich I've made in the past, so I feel like I can't complain if it tastes like something that I've made myself. It's definitely not too overpowering on the egg flavour. I don't know if it would convince someone that eats eggs normally. In my opinion, it doesn't taste super strong of eggs, which is a good thing because I feel like you don't want to taste something super strong of eggs. I don't know if that's just me, but it has the texture, it has the consistency, and it does have like the slight taste. I feel like if you were a fan of egg sandwiches before you went vegan, it's definitely worth trying. It also won't stink the whole room out, so if you like egg sandwiches right now and you eat eggs, maybe try this and see if you like it, because it could be an easy switch. And I mean, everything is nice about it. I like the bread, I like the consistency. Overall, I feel like I'm very pleasantly surprised with this. The cress as well works really nicely in this. I feel like it adds a good little bit of flavour. And the more I eat of it, the more I'm enjoying it. Like, I would give this maybe an 8.5 out of 10. I feel like for what it is, I would give it a high score. On like the rating of every vegan sandwich I've ever tried, I probably wouldn't rate it as highly. But overall, for what it's trying to be, I feel like it's definitely succeeded. The next thing that I picked up were these Wicked Kitchen Double Trouble chocolate cookies. You get 4 in a bag and they were £1.50. Now, these were probably the thing I was least excited to try from the Wicked Kitchen range, just because I rate cinnamon rolls and blueberry muffins a lot higher. I'm still excited to try them. I feel like I've tried a lot of good vegan double chocolate cookies in my time now, so I can be a good judge of what these taste like. I will leave a link to a really good vegan cookie recipe in the description. So good, works every time. I did also recently try the new Subway vegan cookie and that was really good, so we'll have to see how these compare. Looks wise, I feel like they're quite similar to the Subway one. I mean, they smell really good. They definitely smell chocolatey. I can't see like huge chunks of chocolate in them. It seems more of like a melted chocolate situation. I'm really hoping the texture of these is right. I feel like I'm very fussy with my cookies. I really like the crispy outside and then the chewy middle. People who like crunchy cookies are just mad. I can't get on board with that. I feel like when they're softer in the middle, it's such a better texture. It's definitely a softer cookie, but it hasn't got that like crisp and then chew. It's just kind of soft all over. The flavour's okay. It's not super strong, but I mean, it's still really nice. But I don't think these beat the Subway ones or the homemade ones, in my opinion. I just think they need some like bigger chocolate chunks that when you take a bite, you can taste the chocolate as well as like the chocolate biscuit, for it to be properly double chocolate. I mean, still, they're not bad in any sense. I'm gonna eat all 4 of these probably today, I reckon. I feel like they might go off in a few days anyway. These things don't seem to last very long, so that's gonna be my excuse. But I think for a supermarket cookie, and the fact that there's now vegan supermarket cookies that you can get in like the bakery section and that are very similar to the other kind of non-vegan cookies you can get, I feel like that's definitely a win. They are probably more expensive than the non-vegan cookies. I feel like I definitely didn't used to pay £1.50 for 4 cookies, and they were bigger cookies than the ones you get in this packet. But overall, I feel like if you're really in the need of some chocolate cookies and you're on the go and you're by a Tesco, get these to try. Otherwise, I would recommend just making them yourself or going to Subway if you don't want to make them yourself, because they're definitely cheaper there, and I feel like the Subway ones were definitely nicer. But again, I'm gonna give this like a 7 out of 10, and even that seems mean, to be honest, because I feel like with a double chocolate cookie you probably can't go lower than like an 8 or a 9 because they're all gonna taste incredible. But in terms of all the chocolate cookies I've ever eaten, this is probably more of like a 7. The next thing that I picked up is actually a drink, and it is the Nescafe Gold Oat Latte Instant Coffee with Oat. Now, I was just very intrigued about these. It was £1.69 for this box, and you get 6 in it. So I guess in terms of how much that makes each coffee, I feel like my brain is just not in the mood to work that out. Okay, so that's like 28p a coffee. So when you compare it to how much you would pay in a coffee shop, obviously that's a very good deal. If you compare it to how much you would pay just making a coffee out of like the instant coffee bags that you can just mix with hot water and milk, it probably is a lot more expensive. I bought these more as like a treat because I've kind of weaned myself off coffee. I drank it loads this time last year, and then when we went into lockdown I never bothered rebuying like my coffee pods for my coffee machine, so I didn't have them for quite a while. And then I got some instant coffee to do the whole like whipped coffee during the summer, and now I just have instant coffee in my cupboard for when I really fancy it, and I make it nice with like syrup and everything. But on a day-to-day basis I don't tend to drink it, so I picked these up more as like a treat. If I'm out and about and I want to treat myself, I'll always go for a coffee from like Starbucks or Costa or whatever. So it's not that I don't like coffee, I just don't drink it very often. So I just really wanted to try these. I find them so fascinating and I feel like this is going to make me sound really thick, and I'm sure when I try these in a minute it's going to be a different situation. But obviously they look like they've got separate milk to coffee, and I can't understand the science of that, because obviously it comes in like a little sachet, I'm assuming, which is going to be coffee powder and milk powder, that then when you mix with hot water it makes a milky coffee, or at least I'm assuming. So I don't understand how this can then separate in a mug to get the whole like milk and coffee situation. So we'll see if that's actually fake and it's just used for the ads, which is probably the case, and I've probably just fallen for it. And this is probably going to be no different than me just adding some oat milk to my coffee, but we're going to give it a go. I mean, even if it just tastes nice, it's not like I've wasted my money. So I'm going to try this afternoon and probably finish my cookie off when I drink it. It is time to give these a go. I have got the cookies waiting, ready for the coffee. I've read the instructions. You have to add the water, stir it, and then leave it for 20 seconds and then stir it again. And apparently for a creamier texture, you can tap the mug on the table. Now, I have no idea what that does or how that works, so might have to give that a try. I also forgot to mention they do have 2 other vegan lattes. So they've got a coconut one and an almond one. I'm not a big fan of really either of those milks in coffee, which is why I went for the oat one. But yeah, let's give this a go. So stir thoroughly. I feel like that was quite thorough. And now I have to leave it for 20 seconds. I mean, it definitely looks more creamy than my normal coffee, so I feel like that's a win. I'm also gonna tap. I mean, I have no idea what that did. I feel like that did absolutely nothing. But I mean, looks wise, it's looking okay. Just left it to cool down for a couple of minutes, and now I'm gonna give this a try and see what it's like. Just tastes like instant coffee. That's like the biggest disappointment. I mean, I don't know what I was expecting, but I was expecting something maybe slightly fancier, something more that you'd get in a coffee shop, then just make at home. This literally tastes no different to when I add milk to my coffee powder. So yeah, maybe save yourself the money on those. I don't know why people get them normally if they're not anything special. I guess if you can get flavoured ones, maybe that would be something a little bit different. But it even looks like slightly curdled on the top, which my normal milk does in coffee as well. So overall, I feel like, yeah, I wouldn't buy them again. My coffee that I've got in my cupboard is Nescafe something or other. So taste-wise, it tastes literally the exact same. It's no creamier. The oat milk doesn't add anything, which is normally my preference for coffee. At the moment, I just have soy milk at home, so I always go for soy milk, but if I'm out and about, I'll always ask for oat milk. So I was thinking, oh, this will be kind of creamier. This will be more of like the experience that I get when I go to a coffee shop. It's just a very bog standard coffee. So that's slightly disappointing. Still gonna go get my cookie though and dip it in this coffee. And I feel like that would be better. But overall, I wouldn't buy these again. I would probably give them like a 4 out of 10. And then the final thing that I picked up was a meat alternative. So I got the Plant Chef meat-free chicken style pieces. This was in the fridge section and they were £2. This actually came already open, so I shoved it in the freezer. I'm hoping it's okay. I feel like I just wasn't in the mood to not be able to have another thing from my shop, so I'm hoping it's fine. I mean, it's open, but let's just hope I've frozen off any weird bugs or anything weird that could have got into this. It does say it's suitable for freezing, so hopefully that hasn't like messed up anything. It is made from wheat and pea protein, and I've not tried the refrigerated version of their vegan chicken before. Back in the day, they used to do, I think they might still do them, like a big bag of vegan frozen chicken, and it was £1.75, and they always used to have an offer on where you got 4 bags for £3, I think, or 3 bags for £4. And while I was at uni, I would do that pretty much every single order, and I would get the Tesco vegan mince, and I would get the chicken pieces, and they would be what I would use for pretty much everything. Since then, I feel like there's been so many different vegan chicken releases that I've just gone off them. I think in comparison to some of the other ones, they're just not as good. So I don't know if these are going to be the same. I don't know if they're made of the same things as the frozen ones. They do look slightly different. When they came, I was like, oh, they look a bit weird because, I don't know. I feel like uncooked vegan chicken is a little bit odd, but I'm intrigued to see what these taste like and the texture of them. I don't know if I've said this already, but they were £2, and I think the box is 200 grams. Yeah, you get 200 grams in here, which I feel like is fairly reasonable. I did do a price comparison. I think it's the Squeaky Bean chicken brand, and in that it was 160 grams for £3, I think. I was debating between which one I went for, and in the end I was like, this seems like such a better deal. I'll go for this instead. So I'm hoping it is good. I know that Squeaky Bean gets a lot of hype, so if this is not good, I'm going to be slightly disappointed with my choice. But I think I'm going to cook this evening in some fajitas. I picked up some wraps. The other thing that I was so excited about trying that didn't come in my shop, at least this one I knew it wasn't going to come because I saw the day before that it was out of stock, but the Plant Chef sour cream and chive dip. I was so excited about trying that. I've been excited since I've seen that posted about, I think like a couple of months ago, and I haven't seen it on my Tesco online previously, and I saw it and I put it in my basket and then it went out of stock, and I was literally gutted because sour cream and chive dip literally used to be my favourite thing ever before I was vegan, and I was thinking fajitas with these chicken pieces and the sour cream and chive dip was going to be incredible. Sadly, we don't have the dip, so we'll just go for standard fajitas tonight, and I will let you guys know what I think of these. I have just made myself a fajita with some of that vegan chicken. I've also got some peppers, mushrooms, onions, smoky barbecue fajita seasoning, a little bit of spinach, some jalapenos, some of Lidl's vegan cheese, and also some vegan mayo in this. I did order the Heinz vegan mayo to try as part of this video, but they substituted it for the Hellmann's one, which I'm not complaining about because I've had this one before and I know it's really good, but I was quite keen to compare it to the Heinz one. But that is everything I've got in here. I defrosted the vegan chicken pieces in the microwave before I cooked them because it did say to defrost them if you'd frozen them, which I always hate when they say you can't cook it from frozen because it's just that extra step. I feel like no one ever remembers to take something out of the freezer to defrost, at least I don't, so Put that in the microwave. The texture was really weird once it was defrosted. It almost had like a chewing gum consistency, like pretty gross. It did say the best way to cook them was in the grill, but I just pan fried them, which it also said was an option. Might have burnt them very slightly. And then I just mix it in with all the vegetables and everything like that. I will say I just tried a piece by itself, not even thinking about this video. I was trying to see if it was cooked and if it was hot in the middle. Ate it. Wasn't the biggest fan. I feel like it had a very weird flavour, but we're going to see what it tastes like as part of the fajita, and then I'll give like my full thoughts. At the moment, I'm a little bit dubious. I feel like I'm not going to love it, but we will see. It definitely works better with everything going on in here. The fajita seasoning as well is like a must. I feel like you can't have those plain. I'm not sure if you would. I know that they're like meant for some sort of flavour, although I guess some people eat plain chicken, which would be a little bit weird, but you definitely want to put like a lot of flavour on them because the flavour by themselves is just not that great. Texture is quite squishy. The outside is firm from where I fried it, but it just, I feel like I'm not doing this any justice in terms of description. It's just not a nice chicken in my opinion. I mean, it's not bad. I'd give it maybe like a 6 out of 10. It's definitely different to the frozen chicken that I used to get. I probably would still go for the frozen one over this one just because I think it's cheaper and I think you probably get more, and I just prefer frozen things over fridge things. But I feel like it's probably on the same level as the frozen one, which isn't like that great. I definitely feel like I'm gonna have to try a few more vegan chicken alternatives till I find the one that I like the best. Feel like I haven't found it yet. I definitely need to try that Squeaky Bean brand. If you guys have any other vegan chicken recommendations, definitely leave them in a comment. But overall, I feel like I'm not completely blown away by this. I'm still going to enjoy it. I'm still going to make more fajitas, but I wouldn't buy again, I don't think. So that is everything that I picked up from Tesco to try. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Definitely let me know if you've seen any other vegan releases of things that you want me to try, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.